Hey guys, Astra here. And so, in response to a need for this course from someone in my membership group, I am creating this masterclass, How to Do Distance Healing. Some people call it distant healing. I just always say distance. I don't know why, it just feels right to me. And so, what is distance healing? Distance healing is the ability to be able to connect with someone's energy or soul or spirit, depending on the type of healing that you're wanting to do, to connect with them no matter where they are in the world. So, like, the idea would be, for instance, I can connect with my cat's energy. And I'm on the second floor in my office, and she's on the first floor sleeping on the couch. And I can connect with her energy, with her permission, of course. As an animal communicator, you can ask your animals if they do or do not want to be involved in a distance healing. So I'm just using her as an example. And say she says yes. And so in my heart, and I'm sort of channeling this information and wisdom as it wants to come through me, because I've never really sort of whittled it down to the bare bones of, like, first I do this, then I do this, then I do that, then I do that. If someone were to say to me in a nutshell, what do you do when you do distance healing, I would say, I connect with the soul of the person or the souls of the group that I'm creating this healing vibration for, and it's always only with their permission, because if you try to heal someone or something and they don't give you permission on some level, nothing really will happen. And it's like they have to somehow or another have the desire to heal themselves from within in order to then step into any sort of energetic healing structure that you've created and have it be effective for them. Okay, so that here I go. I say in a nutshell and then I go on for hours, but that's my style. So yeah, I would say I connect with their energy or their soul, and I can feel when that connection takes place. I intuitively feel it and energetically feel it, and then I go on to perform the healing, whatever it is, whether it's, aligning, balancing, and clearing the chakras, or performing sound healing using my voice, which I do often, or, do some energy work using my hands to feel the energy and what needs to happen and where it needs to be balanced and where something needs to be released. Similarly to that is the shamanic healing that I do. That's a little more deeply on a soul level and the energy healing is in the energy field, obviously, and in the body. We have energy. Everything's energy, so obviously our bodies are made of energy as well. So yeah, it's really the crux of it, the main core of it. You need to have a way for your inner intuitive, divinely wise self to know when you've made that connection on an energetic level or a soul level. I can just feel it. I feel it kind of in my gut, and I'm feeling like I'm learning now. I didn't even really realize this, that when I connect to someone's energy, when I connect to someone's soul, I'm connecting to them with my heart, because everything I do is infused with love. Love is the baseline energy that is vibrating on every level of everything I do. As I heal myself, as I create energetic healing structures or soulful healing structures for my clients who say a conscious yes to their own healing. Everything I do with love. So So, okay, let's see. For instance, back to my cat. Okay. Say I just want to create a healing session for her. First, I connect with her energy from my heart, and I say, Zoe, would you like to receive some healing, some energetic healing right now? And if I feel an intuitive yes from her, then I'll go forward. So say she said yes, because if it's a no, then I wouldn't do it. So say she said yes, and I say, okay. So I make sure to connect with her from my heart on an energy level. And then I check in to see if she wants to go soul deep as well. Say she says yes. And I think she is saying yes. So I'm just going to use her as the by proxy healing client here. So, and she's giving me permission to do that. So I then would say, then I would actually, then I would just feel her energy in my space, and I would use my hands to start feeling like, okay, checking her, sort of doing a scan maybe of her body, but especially of her aura, her energy field, seeing like, is there a spot anywhere that feels like something's coming up that needs to be released? So I would do that. I would release that. And when I'm releasing, I usually call on Archangel Michael to help come take the load of stuff away, whatever's being released, the heavy load or the residue or the dust or whatever needs to go. So Michael comes to help take that away. Every once in a while, though, I'm more called to call upon Ganesh, the Hindu god who is the remover of obstacles. He's the one who has the elephant head. And sometimes it's him, sometimes it's Archangel Michael, sometimes it's Ganesh, and I always ask, like, who's the one who is meant to help me with this particular thing that needs to go, the obstacle that needs to be removed, or the big heavy load of energy that never belonged to this person or animal in the first place that needs to go. So I call on them to, take it away. And so then I check the chakra system and see if like any of the chakras, make sure they're all spinning. If some of them don't seem to be spinning, that means it's closed, it's at a standstill. And I check to make sure it's spinning, and if there are any messages that want to come through, because the chakras, there are energy centers, and they each correspond to different parts of our lives and our beings and how we function, in the world. And so sometimes they carry messages that we are meant to hear, that will help propel us forward to where we desire to be in our lives. Excuse me. And in our businesses, which is part of our lives. So I just need a sip of my beverage here. My throat is getting scratchy. Which actually brings me to my cat's throat chakra. She wants to communicate something to me. I'm thinking of hairballs, but that's not it. Just a cat joke. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's not a message for me. She has a message in her throat chakra for herself. Okay. Basically, it just says love yourself. So her throat chakra is giving her the message for her to love herself, which makes sense because she's had issues with diabetes on and off, which is a pancreatic, connected to the pancreas. And the pancreas I believe in Chinese medicine, has to do with self-esteem. And so loving yourself and self-esteem are very closely interrelated. And animals, by the way, they are healers for us. So this is a cat we adopted a couple of years ago, and her human father, before we had her, he had a lot of health issues, and he ended up passing away. So what happened is that she took on some of his insecurity and self-esteem issues. And so that affected her pancreas. So that's why it's so important. And I know I'm getting a little off topic, but not really. It's so important for people who do have animal companions. It's so important for them to either order energy healings for their animals or to perform energy healings for their animals themselves. So you guys can do this for your animals too. So yeah, because the animals, they take on our stuff, and so we feel better to some degree, but the animals don't then necessarily know, like, oh, now I've got all this stuff, it's got to be released, and I know how to release it to the earth, or I know how to ask Archangel Michael to come get it, or Ganesh, or whatever. The animals don't do that. They sort of soak up our stuff because they're very empathic. And then so they need us to turn around and help them get rid of it, get the old energy dump truck and dump it all out. Okay, so that's Animal Healing 101. Okay, so Zoe, back to Zoe, love yourself. And I'm getting actually, so because that was just a sample healing, and she did need that, so that was good, but that's it. So I'm gonna bring closure to that healing and say, is there anything else that needs to be done, or are we complete? Yes, we are complete is the message I'm getting. So it's very much you're communicating with energy. Are we complete? Yes, we are complete. So then I give Zoe the cat's energy back to her. Make sure she's all energetically tucked in and comfy and cozy, and tell her, don't forget to drink a lot of water and get a lot of sleep, because that's what I would say to people too. Yeah, ooh, I feel better and lighter just from that exchange too. So that's really how I do it. And during my wealth alignment group distance energy sessions, that's sort of when you get the report, for what happened during the sessions, it's all laid out right in front of you. What I went, the kind of the checklist I go through, are the chakras spinning? Are there any messages? What do you need this shamanic healing modality, or this one, or this one, or this one? Yes, yes, no, no, no. And then I and it's all because I'm connected with the group soul of the group that I'm working with at that moment in time. And go through my whole checklist of my signature wealth alignment healing system. And, and once it's complete, I then, having been connected to the group soul energy, I then disconnect back and I send everyone's soul energy back to themselves. And usually I can feel it. I can kind of feel it physically leaving my space and kind of going back to the beings whose energy, or whose soul it is, or whose energy it is. So by receiving the reports all that I do during those sessions. And of course, if you have questions about that, always feel free to ask me. And I think I may be sharing this particular masterclass on my public YouTube channel. So if you've never been a client for one of my wealth alignment sessions, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you ever want to, what wealth stands for, WEALTH, is W is whole health, sort of a one-word idea, whole health. And then E is empowerment, A is abundance, L is love, T is transcendence, and H is happiness. So whole health, empowerment, abundance, love, transcendence, and happiness. And those are the what we're working on in the wealth alignment distance healing circles. Those are the aspects that we get a boost for, and get more grounded in, and more expansive with. So yeah, and I do those sessions usually every other week, pretty much. So if you ever want to order one and to be a part of the session, the members in my membership get them automatically, just, so they don't have to purchase them every other week. It just comes as part of the paid membership group. So I'm just sort of asking, because that pretty much sums it up. In the paid membership group, there's also a couple classes that I made within the past few years describing, like I think one's called how to give a prosperity healing, how to work with the shamanic empowerment grid, which is a system that showed or channeled through me a couple of years ago. That's all about empowerment. And it's happiness, vitality, abundance, peace, and freedom on the levels of soul, energy, emotions, mind, and body. So bam, that covers all the bases, right? So there's the video about working with that system. And all of that is really a part of the wealth alignment sessions that I'm now doing as well. So, okay, connecting in with the universe, seeing if anything else wants to channel through me. I'm not a Reiki practitioner. I know a lot of people do Reiki as a distance healing. So I know even some of you do that. And so that's really cool. That's obviously not something I can teach you because I don't do Reiki. I've created my own signature healing system. Maybe I do Reiki and I don't even know that I do it, probably. My hands do move in certain motions and stuff, but not consciously, I'm probably channeling it. And yeah, you can do another, here's what's coming through. Another cool thing, and this is, well, I'm laughing because it's part of my wealth alignment system that I check. I always check to see if the group that I'm performing the distance healing circle for needs any specific flower essences or vibrational essences. It could be flower, it could be an element, a numerological essence, a totem animal essence, any other sort of plant or whatever. And a vibrational essence really could be the energy or essence of anything that's needed in the present time. So I always ask if there's a vibrational essence that needs to be integrated into the group energy. And if there is, say, for instance, it's sunflower flower essence. And so what I do is I kind of always feel like I'm kind of moving from the head down. I bring in the energetic vibration of the essence of sunflower, or the energetic vibration of sunflower, into me, into myself. And again, I didn't realize that I always do this from the heart. I just always could feel it propelling forward. So then down into myself, and then apparently now I know from my heart chakra into the energy of the group dynamic, the group soul. And I integrate it, or I see to it that the group soul allows the essence of sunflower to be integrated into itself. So thereby having given the group a dose of sunflower flower essence, without even having to physically mail them bottles of it, and I do make vibrational essences in actual physical bottles and spray bottles as well. But but this is as far as distance healing. You can call upon the essence of anything that's needed and integrate it into the energy or soul of the animal, person, or people group that you are performing, with their permission, performing the energy session for. That's it. That is all that's coming through. I'm asking, I'm getting no, there's nothing else that wants to come through right now, but always, always, always ask me your questions. And if you utilize anything in this video, always with the permission of the receiver, because it's their choice to empower themselves to heal from within. If you utilize anything in this video, let me know how it goes for you. And I'm really excited, and I'm happy I was able to share this information with you. Bye-bye.